Talking about tramadol. Tramadol is a good drug in saying that when doctors prescribe it, when they want to abort, when they want to
carry out operation.
Somebody for them, they will give it to the person to reduce the pain, all that is. But we young men, we abuse it. We take it for highness. We take it to do sorts of things.
Okay.
So I think it's not.
Now taking tramadol. Okay, apart from the person feels high, you can look anybody in the eye and you can say anything. Is that it? Okay. What does it do? What feeling does the person feel? I'm not saying you've taken it. I'm not asking, but you guys are your guys, so you must have been. My friend took it, or all those kind of communication and something. So if you've heard somebody taking it, or
for instance, if you take it,
okay,
it makes you feel everybody are just
little
children. Yes. Then it will make you to start doing things that are common, as in things that are not ordinary.
Okay. All right. You want to say something?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Luchu Victor. I'm a student. Some people, there's a normal saying among guys now, and a normal attitude, like they take tramadol to have extra energy. Like normally guys, they say they want to impress a woman, so it makes them take it. That is another reason why they take that tramadol.
Now, are there negative reactions aside from, yes, what are the negative?
They say drug abuse. When you take tramadol, as in without was doctor's prescription, sometimes it might lead you into epilepsy and sometimes into madness. Because I've experienced of some people whom they've taken it and now they are mad. So it is drug, because some people have natural health sickness in them. As in taking it without doctor's prescription and taking excessively, it might lead into some effects, some things, either madness, epilepsy, and other things. Because some people have, as in hyper, as in hypertensive, but they don't know. But going to the chemist and buy it, since as you just like taking it, you might take it and it might lead into what? Death.
Okay, heart attack.
Yes. So
my name is Barnabas, I'm a student. One thing I observe why people take tramadol and other drugs is because they want to be high, they want to forget about their problem. But one thing they forget is taking it to be high, forgetting about your problem is just for a while. after that period, the problem is still there, and it makes you unproductive. You'll not be able to face your problem, get the solution, and come out of the problem. Thank you.
Jay?
Sorry, something. My name is John Hamzi. I'm from Rivers State University. First of all, we need to understand the concepts of drugs. Now, drugs can act as a medicine and can also act as a toxin. When taken rightly, it's a medicine. And when taken wrongly, it's a toxin to you.
Say it again. A
Toxic. It becomes toxic to you.
toxic. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So when taken rightly, it's a medicine, and when taken wrongly,
Becomes toxic.
it becomes toxic to you. So, like the question you asked, how it metamorphosed, okay? People learn, people observe from things that are happening. Like, for example, a patient goes to the hospital. Let me take an example of cocaine, which is a nerve relaxant. It relaxes the nerves, okay? Like sometimes when there are some situations, mostly it applies mostly to dentists, because I've had someone say dentists are licensed personnel to cocaine because they use it most times when they want to remove teeth. Yes. So they inject the cocaine into your teeth, and the nerves in your teeth actually relax it. So when the teeth is being removed, you wouldn't feel any pain. So now let's take an example that someone as such goes to the hospital. He gets that feeling. Cocaine is being injected on him. He feels nothing when something is being removed from his body. And he just wakes up, okay, the surgery has been done, like that. So the person might come to think, this thing was injected in me and I felt nothing. Okay, let me just try it on my own. Perhaps he has some bad friend who does those kind of business. And say, okay, I need a pound of cocaine. I want to try something. They supply it for him. He tests it on himself and he sees the results. It's a relaxant. Maybe he can just take a little, hit his hand somewhere. He doesn't feel any pain. He only sees blood, but he doesn't feel any pain. So he will likely tell it to his friends. This is what I discovered. And just like that, news is fast spread. Right? It spreads very fast. So when this one tell this one tell the next person, the next person tell the next person, just like that. Before you know it, has metamorphosed to a very large scale, and in society, mostly the youth, we hear of it. So when you hear of it, that when I do this thing, if I do this thing naturally, like some of us watch movies and action movies, like you want to depict actually what they do there. So they go into taking those things, like maybe for example they want to fight. Maybe someone has problem with someone. Okay, he knows that if the person stabs him a knife in the hand, he will feel a very lot of pain, and he decides to take cocaine before going to fight the person. The person will just stab him the knife. You will not even feel anything. The way he will react to you, you will not even believe that you stabbed the person the knife. So that's how it started. It was just from the medical personnel originally that I started. It was like a classified information before now, for just medical personnel alone. But due to the fact that people have noticed the change in their body system due to the effect of those drugs,
Okay.
they began to spread the news.
Okay.
Drug abuse. There is something we call, it's actually mostly about antibiotics. It also has to do with drug abuse. Sometimes, we abuse antibiotics a lot. These days, you see someone sick or maybe having a fever, you just assume it might be, if it's not malaria, it's typhoid or something. You just go grab some antibiotics and you take. But there is something that, there's something detrimental about that, and I'll tell you. There is something we call antibiotic resistance, such that when you abuse antibiotics a lot, your body, kind of becomes numb, such that at a time, when you actually have need or when there is cause for you to use that drug, the drug will not work. So that's actually one of the negative results of abusing drugs, especially antibiotics. Because antibiotics are made to work specifically to bacteria or whatever effective agent they are being made for. That's why in the lab, there's something they call sensitivity testing, which you use to test a particular ailment and type it or relate it to a particular antibiotic. So that's why it's very, very important not to take drugs, especially antibiotics, without prescriptions. Thank you.
That's it. So let's invite Mr. Emeka Nobis. Sorry? He's our resource person. Thank you very much for that. The second is Mr. Prince Hezekiah, our comedian. Thank you. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to the Real Encounter Leadership Summit. My name is St. Amy. I'm your convener, and we're starting right away. You have been invited to come and listen to our resource persons talk about how I can reposition for greatness. You know, greatness has different stages. We're all great in our own different rights, in our own different ways, in what we do. Either you're a student or you're working, or you're even an entrepreneur. But our aim is to motivate you. Our aim is to groom youths who are teachable and who want to learn. And then we also hope to have a one-on-one coaching session with you if you want. In case of issues, if you're having issues in any area, you can always reach out to us. Our numbers are there, our email lines are there, and we are always there to touch lives positively. And that's our mantra for this program. This summit is a monthly summit. We hold it every month. Last month we talked about the power of self-discovery, but for this month we're talking about how youths can reposition for greatness, to attain greatness. You all have your different purposes, why you were created here on earth. And how do you position yourself? How do you achieve that God-given talent? How do you achieve your aim or your purpose for why you were created here on earth? We'll start now, and before we start, we would like to have somebody volunteer to pray for us. Who will volunteer to pray for us before we start? Let's commit the program into the hands of God.
Let's pray. Thank you, our Father, that you've gathered all of us here as we have been learning from one another. We are not just here by accident. It's just by your divine arrangement. And so, our Father, we are committing the resource persons and all of us present here to your mighty hands. Lord, we ask for leadership. Lord, you opened our mind to be able to digest all that you taught us today. Thank you for answering us. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen. Thank you for your prayer. God is with us, and He will continue to be with each and every one of us. Once again, you're welcome. We usually have our HSC talk, and I'll read out a few rules of engagement for this program. Like I told you, we do team building, we do mental development, we do personal development, business development if you want, and then we coach people, we mentor and inspire, try to inspire youths to get to where they really dream to be in life. The journey to greatness might not, it's not a one-off thing. It wouldn't start, today, and even by hearing this, coming for this summit, I'm not telling you that tomorrow you're going to be great. I'm not God, but we believe. We also put you in prayers as we talk to you. We commit you into the hands of God and believe that as you hear, you go out there and deliberate, think about it, sit and then think about it, pray to your Creator. I'm sure He will do wonders with all the things you will keep hearing. Let me go over to the HSC talk. HSC stands for Health, Safety, and Our Environment. For the HSC, I will introduce you to the building. This is a glass building, and It's a tent hall, so we should be mindful of the ends, the corners, maybe hitting something so that we don't cause any damage. Then if you notice anything that is hazardous to yourself or fellow participants, please do well to call our attention so that we arrest it timeously. If the conveyances are at the main building, unfortunately, so if you feel pressed to, or you have the need to use the conveyances, please go over to the main building. We also advocate for green environment. Wherever you find yourself, please always practice, try to keep your environment hygienic, let it be hygienic, and then don't throw things, don't discard things from, or debris from, through the window of any moving vehicle. Don't litter around. I'll cross over to the rules for engagement. We wouldn't take talking massively. We wouldn't take two people arguing or quarreling or trying to make their points. Please, let's have one house and then one participant talks at a time. All your phones, please, we would like to request or appeal to you that your phones be put on silence mode so that it doesn't cause any form of distraction to us. We wouldn't also tolerate abusive language. Try and be courteous, try and be civil when you address one another. And then we wouldn't be discussing detrimental politics here in this summit. I know there might be two persons from two camps, for instance, like the APC and PDP, coming here and arguing, because we'll definitely talk about politics and how it affects you as a youth. So we wouldn't have people throwing tantrums or using abusive or foul language at their opponents. So at every point in time, look at the problem and not the carrier of the message. With this, I'll read the citation for our resource persons. The first is Mr. Emeka Nobis. Please, as we read your citation, we request you to stand. Mr. Emeka Nobis he spent 10 years of his life working as a mechanical engineer for a multinational oil servicing company. And during his working years, he met individuals who were gifted, and subsequently he resigned from his job to focus on helping individuals like you, and which is what one of the things he'll be doing here, who have messages to share to humanity. He does this primarily through writing, consulting, coaching, training interventions. He blogs regularly at www.emekanobis.com and has a thriving social media followership. He founded and administers a Facebook page called Pen and Ink Masters. He founded it to help writers to become truly exceptional at utilizing their gifts, expertise, knowledge, experience to build profitable enterprises. He has he's also listed as the TEDx speaker at the upcoming TEDx program for 16th of June this year. He's also author of 12 books. He has written 12 books, and he's married, and he has children. He lives here in Port Harcourt. A round of applause for Mr. Emeka. Our other resource person just stepped out. He has a pressing need. I will still read his citation. He's no other person than comedian Prince Hezekiah, Prince Vincent Hezekiah. He's an entertainer, he's an entrepreneur, he's a comedian, he's an actor, he's a dancer, and he's an events facilitation person. He also studied theater arts at Uniport. He has interests like business. He works hard. He believes that hard work as your paycheck should be the utmost goal. He also likes talent hunts, and then he believes that youthfulness is the greatest gift from God. So now that you're a youth, you should be up and doing. You should venture into so many things, and God will see you through in that. He also has leadership influence. He talks about positive impact in the society. That's one of his messages he preaches whenever he has a gathering of youth. And then he's really, really passionate about is really, really passionate about youth development. Can we give it up for Prince Hezekiah? Thank you very much.
All right here, I'm asking you, what do you think about greatness? What do you think greatness?
Okay. To my own knowledge, in greatness is not actually when you are in a particular position. Greatness is, I think, is about influence.
Okay.
Yes.
That's all right. So you, what do you think greatness is?
Weakness is flexing behavior, like being at the top.
Influencing your area, being on top. Okay. So what about you?
To me, greatness is ability to unfold your potentials.
Ability to unfold your potentials, correct. So if I ask you a question, in your village, who will you consider to be great? Or in the city of Port Harcourt, there will be 3 persons that you hear the word greatness, their names come to your mind. 1 person or 2 if you think that you can remember. Hold the microphone and tell us one name. Just one name. Your uncle. What's your uncle's name? Sorry?
Geoffrey.
Okay, Geoffrey. So your uncle is great. By virtue of your definition that you've given now, your uncle is a great guy, right? Now, if I ask you, in your village or where you live, is there someone that you consider not to be great?
Yes.
Yes. Don't mention the person's name, but why do you think that the person is not great?
To me, based on
Based
on what they do.
What does he do?
Like, to me, if not ascertain the unique qualities in them.
Awesome. So by virtue of not ascertaining these qualities, what do they do on a daily basis that when you see them, you feel that they're not good people? That one person.
Can you talk about?
Yeah, one person that you see. You said that the person has not ascertained what is on the inside, the unique qualities, right? So what does he do on a daily basis that makes you just think that this person is not great?
To me, I feel he's deviating from what he should be doing.
So what do you think he should be doing? Be calm, just stop. I'm trying to arrive at the point. So what do you think he should be doing, according to you?
There are some activities I see him do.
Like, example. Example. One, just give one example. One example. Just one example.
Let me just use the word deviant behavior.
He does deviant behavior, which according to you is what? Exactly, because it can mean something to someone else. What is exactly deviant behavior that you see him doing that makes you think he's not great?
I can't be exactly precise.
No, be precise. Does he smoke? Does he, what do we think is normally deviant behavior? Something like that. Okay, so what about you? What do you think that when you see someone who you think in your village or around you, you think that the person is not great? Why do you think that the person is not great?
Some people do have this carefree attitude. I won't talk about my village because I don't know people there. So, okay, let me start with people around me. When you like correct someone on this, like, this is what you should do, and this is what you shouldn't do, and the person goes ahead to do the other way around.
So according to you, the person should be doing what you have told
That
him.
is the right thing at that
You
moment.
think is the right thing to do at the moment. You, according to your standard, is the right thing to do, right?
To the norms and values of the society.
All right, thank you very much. I just wanted you, go back. I just wanted you to see that the definitions about greatness differ. Did you see that? Did you notice that? And that's the challenge that I have, or a lot of people have. And based on that, I just want to share with you a few ideologies as we begin to go, as I begin to go into the context of my session today. If you listen to them, tied closely to greatness is what people call purpose. Have you heard about the word purpose before? Yeah. Okay, good. I know that all of us here, or all of us, 90% of us here, we believe that that purpose is something that is specific, called the purpose that people have to do while they are here on earth. How many of you believe like that? One particular thing that you ought to be doing while you're on earth, that is called the purpose. How many of you, let's be born again, we prayed, right? And so just let me know. You think that's one specific thing you ought to be doing while you're breathing that is called the purpose? How many of you believe that? Awesome. And then You have listened to so many messages, especially in church, and they tell you 10 steps on how to discover a purpose. You've read so many books written by Miles Monroe and so many pastors have. I do think that many of us have been there, isn't it? So you understand and think that you need to follow the 10 steps for you to be able to identify what it is your purpose in life. While that is fantastic, I believe that some of these messages, I may be taking a few tables, but please, that's the way I am. I believe that many of these messages have this overwhelming spiritual stance where people who listen to them believe that finding this purpose is embedded so much into prayer that you pray and God speaks to your heart deliberately and you hear it expressly and tells you, my son, this is the path to follow. Such that those who don't pray deeply or who don't understand how to pray believe that God doesn't listen to them, and then they become depressive somehow, that seeing other people do certain things, that they themselves are not living the purpose. That happens. But I believe that purpose is basically just beyond that. For me, purpose is about listening to your life. It's about listening to your life. It's about viewing your life not as a snapshot of time. For example, you see the guy who's taking pictures now, he's taking pictures. If he takes a picture of me as I'm speaking to you, when my mouth is open, or when I'm exposing my broken tooth, and he puts it out on Facebook, somebody sees the picture and says, that's exactly how he looks. But if you look at me and you look at my display picture now on Facebook, you see two different things. On my Facebook picture, I'm polished well. And when you look at the picture, you will be, man, this guy is cute and beautiful, whatever it is you want to call it. So, but life is not like that. Life is not about snapshots. Life is, if you want to really know who Emeka Dobe is, you have to follow over time to have an idea of what I represent and who I am. That's the way you should be listening to your life intently. If you need to discover that which you should be focused on doing. Because your life that you've been living, your past and your present, and the one you will live in the future after you leave here, will present you certain patterns. There is a pattern, and we'll show that. But most importantly, I want us to consider the fundamental thing about this thing called purpose. And I thank God that we've prayed. That means that I'm free to talk about things from the Bible. So look at when Adam was created, he had a specific instruction from God to tend the garden, right? And then Eve came. He also had instructions on what to do. Have sex. And to dominate and populate the world. Specific instructions. So I want to tell you something. Because that is purposeful. For them to multiply the earth, or for Adam to tend to the garden, that was purposeful. So at the root cause of anything called purpose that you're doing has to be an action that has to be done. An action, something that you have to be doing, that you're committed to doing. Whether it's on a daily basis, on a regular basis, that is the root. Purpose has to do with something that you're doing. I think that the last seminar here, what they spoke about was discovery of what this purpose is. But I said, I don't believe in the 10 steps to discovering purpose. I believe in listening to my life. If you heard her when she said something about me working in an oil servicing company, I studied engineering photo, 5 years, came out, worked in Cyprus for 10 years. Today, I'm not doing engineering drawings. I'm speaking to individuals. I'm coaching people. I'm training and facilitating in consulting companies. Tomorrow, I can be doing something else. Somebody can decide to be a Reverend Father for 10 years. After being a Reverend Father, you can decide to be a Reverend Doctor. After becoming a Reverend Doctor, or a medical doctor, you can decide to be a missionary to the indigent parts of the world. And I believe that you have seen individuals who have over the years. Do you think that they are confused about their lives? So what is that one purpose that you are slapping onto them that they must pursue? I believe he didn't grow up to become a comedian. At some point, he listened to his life, and then perhaps tomorrow I can become an actor, acting in movies. Somebody will be thinking I'm confused. I'm not confused. It's about listening to your life and doing something. So I just want to point out a few of this thing for those of us here. Once, because I tell you, for those of us who are in university here, because I listen to a lot of people in university, by the time I left university and I got a job, it was a time of questioning. Because I began to see different things. What I was told in university wasn't actually what's happening in real life. Some of you will want to work in oil companies. You will fail interviews endlessly to be able to get into oil companies. I don't paint truth. It is the truth. When we were doing our youth service back in the days, we prayed. You know what? We took the land. We stepped on the land, and we took the land in Port Harcourt. But by the time we left camp, reality stared us in the face. Many of us started working in banks, and they are doing amazing works. So, I just read out four of them, that you can begin to pay attention to, even if as a student, that you begin to see those patterns that you commit your life to do. Number one, what courses do you find yourself naturally drawn to? What courses do you find yourself naturally drawn to? There are individuals, when they see someone who's been trampled upon, they can lose their decorum and fight. What courses have you found yourself naturally drawn to? Number two, what do you immerse yourself in that you do it without stress? For me, is writing. I can write up to 5,000 words in a day. When I handle a pen and a paper, it's so easy for me to write. I can't crack jokes because I'm not a comedian. I don't have the appetite for cracking jokes. I can do yabbing with my friends, but to do it before the audience or before a crowd, hey, you wait till eternity. So what do you immerse yourself without so much stress? Who are you most passionate about helping with the knowledge and experiences and the expertise you've got in life? A typical example are those who are into the health sector or those who are into fitness. When I started out on that journey, because my tummy wasn't like this before. When the good hand of the Lord started coming upon my life, the tummy started showing this evidence. At the point, I realized that it wasn't the way to go. So I decided I was going to follow. Building, destroying is so easy, but to build, so I had destroyed, and the tummy just kept growing like that, putting stuff, working in an oil company. You go to the company sends you a training, the free stocks, all the juices in the world are there, you eat chicken, just kept swallowing. So I decided to tone down. And by doing that, there were certain things I couldn't eat anymore. So when I go into restaurants these days and I see individuals who come in there and they order 2 hamburgers, I'm like, what the heck these guys are doing? And I want to go and speak to them, but you know this thing about wanting to go and do unsolicited advice, they may insult the hell out of your life. So if you find those who are into the fit farm industry, they have this desire to help certain individuals. You yourself, who are you most passionate about helping? It's a question that you have to answer. The last one, when you gather with friends, colleagues, or family members, what do you find yourself so excited to talk about, to share? Some individuals, it's politics, some is football. You can dissect football when Ronaldo was paid last salary and all that, what PDP is doing, what APC is doing, what Buhari is wearing, like wearing boxers or anything. They can be excited to share those things. So think about your life. What do you find yourself so excited when you gather with friends and you talk about? I can tell you that if you are waiting for God to answer these questions for you, you're missing the mark, because it's about listening to your life. And if I want to talk about purpose, I read the Bible and I found in 1 Kings chapter 5 that Solomon proposed in his heart to build a house for the Lord. God did not come down from heaven and say he should build a house. He proposed in his heart to build a house for the Lord. In 2 Chronicles chapter 2 and verse 1, he determined to build the house. And in 2 Chronicles chapter 3 and verse 1, he began to build a house. So in extracting this from the scriptures, from the Bible, sorry for those who don't read the Bible, I don't want to be sensitive to them, but in extracting these things from the scriptures that we read or that I read, we see three things that will be needed for this journey of greatness. Three things. Number one is this discovery of the purpose we talked about. So when you discover it, that's the beginning point. That's where it starts out. Number two, determination and commitment to the cause. You've got to be determined and committed to the cause. And then actually working hard to do it. Actually working hard to do it. Now, I just want us to consider a few mindsets, because while I was preparing for this, it occurred to me that if I don't talk about it, then I could leave certain parts untouched. The number one thing is this. When we look at greatness, we may think in terms of people who are doing remarkable things. And when I say remarkable things, they're individuals who are acclaimed by the society. Does it make sense? For example, I'm a writer, and I am a Christian, but the kind of people that I follow and I watch what they do online, you'll be amazed why I should be studying what they do. How many of you know Igwe Tupac? How many of you know Igwe Tupac? Accolades. How many of you know him? How many of you follow him on Instagram? How many of you follow Instagram? Did you know he released this song, Accolades, yesterday, 6th of June, at exactly 6 a.m. in the morning? Did you know that? Did you know? Fine. The guy may be doing some ridiculous things, but I had wanted to study his strategy that he was using. Before the release of the video, the guy had done another video where he was talking about I need accolades, and it went viral. He built upon that strategy, and he kept on releasing videos, brought people in to do their own videos, and they kept releasing it on their Instagram page, and the followership kept on increasing. As of yesterday, I think he had about 400-something thousand followers on Instagram before the video dropped. And yesterday, his video was about having 10 million views of the video on YouTube before daybreak. And then he did something that was funny. He said if he doesn't get it, he will kill himself, which was funny. But he knew what he was doing. So I see the strategies. And I tell you that that guy, for what is worth, and individuals who say idiots, what are they even doing? All these worldly people. He's now advertising for companies. And I saw him advertising for Peak Meal some days ago. Which you as a Christian, you are shouting, saying they are idiots and they are not, they won't come for you. Yes, we may say that he's great according to certain standards, but inside every one of us at our level where we're sitting down here, we have the prospects and the potentials within us to do great things, to do remarkable things, the resources. The truth is that many of us have not decided to listen to their lives, listen to the song that is playing in their heart, to understand that they have these things within them. We all, as we're sitting down here, we have them. My son is 5 years old, and somebody will be wondering, why did I bring my son to listen to me speak? Many times he hears me when I'm leaving the house, he says, Daddy, where are you going? I say, I'm going to speak. And one day, as I was leaving the house, he said to me, that thing that you're going to speak, I want you to speak it here in the house. So I decided to start exposing him. And right here, he's sitting down, 5-year-old, listening to his dad speak. I know that at his age, there's something that I have not discovered it, maybe he hasn't discovered it, but I know there is something, and I'm exposing him to events and circumstances that will increase the probabilities of success and fame and wealth in his life, something that my father did not do for me. We all have it. The danger, which is the second one, is that a lot of us, we look at all these people that are doing great things according to us, those who said in your village, your uncle, who are doing great things, and then you look at your own life, and then you're asking, only me, who sent me home? It's now the worst, and then you begin to slide into depression. That is dangerous. I want you to understand that on this earth, everybody is on a coordinate. There are people that I am better than, there are people that are better than me, and there are those that I'm on the same coordinate with. There are individuals that I'm even better than today, that in a few years will overrun and be better than me in a few years to come. If I, every day, begin to kill myself or think about what other people are achieving in their lives, then I will be depressed on a daily basis. In our strive to bring out that greatness that lies inside of us, we need to understand that we are on a journey. We are on a journey. As long as you rise every day to commit to excellence at what you do, you are on a journey. That is the absolute truth. Now, it's at this point that I will tell my story before I go to the second thing that I will be sharing, how we can position ourselves for greatness. So I got a job in Saipem after 7 months, 7 months at home after youth service. And it was a very beautiful moment in my life that I got a job in our servicing company, Saipem. How many of you know Saipem here in Port Harcourt? So the company said I should go abroad for 1 year in Italy. And that was the first time I was flying an airplane in 2004. Sorry, 2006. 2004 was when I left university, did my youth service. 2006, I got a job. And so we had to stay there for 1 year, but every 3 months we come back for 3 weeks of holiday, meet with our parents, our relations, and go back again. It was on the third flight from Nigeria to Italy that I, as I said, is listening to your life and what it tells you. So I walked into the toilet in one of the toilets in Milan on my way to the southern part of Italy. And then it was when I heard the voice. It just came to me, whether it was God, I won't just tell you. God came to me and said, is this what you'll be doing for the rest of your life? And I was 26 and I was asking myself, what the heck is that? We've gotten a dream job, it's time to build it and become successful. My intention and my target at the time was to rise to become the first indigenous construction manager of the company, because all over the years has been Italians. It was my desire. I was working towards becoming Korean, NSE registered and all that stuff. But when I heard the voice, I began to listen to my life. When I got back to Nigeria, the voice became a little bit clearer. Said that I have hands to write. Why he said hands to write, and a voice to speak. Use them to bless humanity. I heard the voice expressly. So I committed myself. But then something happened. I wanted to release my first book that year, 2010. I sent the book to a company in the US, Destiny Image, I used to write for. They used to publish for Miles Monroe. And then they sent back to me and said they don't publish Nigerians and I should connect with their sister company in Italy, which I did. I wrote them an email. And they sent me back and said to me that I am an economic risk to them to publish me. And they said something that was very profound at the time. They said that there's a man called David Ibiome in Port Harcourt. We have published him. Go check him out. And I checked Ibiome's life, and I found out that why did they publish Ibiome's books was because Ibiome had followership. I was an economic risk to them because if they published my book, nobody knew me to buy the books of them. So it would be a burden onto them to sell my books. So I decided to commit to this path of growing influence by communicating what I have inside of me. I knew that I was a gifted writer, so I decided to take upon myself a world view. And what is a world view? I tell my writers, people who I meet who are writers, and they say we love the love of writing, I'm passionate about writing, and yet we are broke-ass writers all over the place. We don't become icons in the society, people who can be seen on billboards. And I told them, I have a world view that in this business of writing, it's not just for writing's sake. We will write and we will make money, and we want to become ambassadors that companies will be proud of, to sign on and pay good amount of money to be on their billboards and to represent them. And so far, it's been happening. I've become an ambassador for a company, a real estate company, and other things will happen. But how did that happen? It is by communicating to humanity what I have on my inside. So every one of us here, we have a gift. We have experiences that we've had, we have expertise, we have knowledge that you can communicate to humanity. And it is so easy now in our time. Daily I rise. Ever since 2010 to today, there has never been a day that I've not written on Facebook. Every day, consistently, I write twice or 3 times on Facebook, consistently. Even when I had chicken pox, I took pictures of the chicken pox face and I wrote a post about it. Even when my wife was in theater, I was writing. Even when my kid had an issue, in UPTS and was in the baby incubation center and all that stuff, I was writing my lessons being in UPTS, telling me to go upstairs, submit blood, come down. I was thinking about their processes. I was thinking about doctors, the way they were communicating to us, the way they were treating us and all that. And I was using the lessons to share business lessons for those who are in business to be able to look at their processes and see how their processes are killing their clients. So every day of our lives, we have experiences that we can share. And this that we have in our hands today is one powerful and viable tool that we use to connect with the world. I tell you, I don't have a physical office, I work from home. And I tell you that ever since I resigned, 90% of my clients have come. I didn't know her, she entered into my Facebook and we chatted. Today is the first day that I'm seeing her. We never met anywhere. Slid into my inbox, I said, Ma, I'll be there and I'll come to speak. Communicating. That was why they said, they handed over the microphone. I noticed you, sir, because if you really want to work on this path of greatness, there has to be a level of confidence that you exhibit. They gave you the microphone. See how you kept the microphone? I saw. Somehow you are scared of speaking to us. But if you don't exude this confidence, can you see the way I'm speaking to you, looking at you eyeball to eyeball? Some individuals, when they're looking upstairs. So you know, today we are talking about purpose. You've got to be able to exhibit that confidence. When people see it inside of you, they know that you're on a journey of prosperity and people want to connect with those who are prosperous. It doesn't matter whether you are riding a Jeep or anything. They want to connect with those kind of individuals. So if you decide today, even those who are students, because I know students, your phones is just for chatting, blah, 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 snapping selfies that don't make sense. Commit to using what's available to you, not asking your uncle all the time. Saying it's not BIS now, it's now. Commit to using what is available to you in whatever profession that you find yourself. This is your passport now to greatness and prosperity. I can tell you the absolute truth. 90% of my clients come from social media. 90%. I don't step out my foot from my house, do all my communications through my Facebook page and everything I do. They slide in box and start asking me, I need your help, I need help, I need help. Okay, if I'm going to render this help, this is how much it's going to cost you. And right in the comfort of my home, I don't step out my feet. I render the services, I get paid. And then individuals, by the time you rise to begin to share these things, individuals will begin to talk about you and say, that guy has got something to offer. So I don't believe in this thing that people have something they have to offer. And they are saying, if I have it, the world will be gone are those days. When you think that the world will rush. Gone are those days when writers write books and people are already lined up. Now you will have to prove that you can. So that's the number 2 thing. You have discovered it, you've got to communicate it. Communicate it consistently. What it does by this communicating consistently is that it increases the possibilities of you getting successful at what you do. Or what comes to you. Fame comes to you. And by fame, I don't mean the usual that you know. You are famous to certain groups of individuals. 10 people, 20 people, 50 people, 100 people, and then it starts to expand. That is what it brings to you. That is when they will say this guy is leaving a legacy. That's when they're saying this lady is doing something that is helping humanity. You've got to be able to communicate it. Now, people who want to sing, you sing whatever you want to sing, put it on YouTube. That's that. You drive people to look at it, they look at it and say, fine, good, great. If you like people to see your face, you have a handsome or nice, beautiful face, put the phone in front of your face and share to the world what you think about your profession, what you think about your art, what you think about your gift. Facebook Live is there. If you feel that your face is not polished enough, got all the cracks and you don't want to see the cracks, there is audio right now that you can send your voice across to the ends of the earth. No more geographical boundaries that can limit your success in our age and our time. You've got to do that. So as I'll wrap up in closing, I want to tell you a few things that you have to do to start amplifying your greatness. A few things that you have to do consistently. On this journey, I want to make you understand that there is an evolution. As I said before, you will evolve. There's certain things that you see you drop, certain things that you take upon yourself, you will evolve over time. You will. I wasn't speaking like this before. I didn't have the confidence to say it before. So if you are thinking that